Hi, welcome back to another video, and it's that time of month again where I pick my 5 favourite images from the work I did in the previous month. So if you want to take a look at all of the images I posted on social media and various formats in the month of July, then go and have a look at this video here. Really do hope that's the right side. If it's not, it's this side, or it was. Anyway, these are my 5 that I've picked of the images that I've posted in July. And if you like black and white images, you're in for a treat this month because all 5 of my picks are black and white. If you're looking for colour, you might want to go and look elsewhere. No, stay, look at these. I need the engagement numbers, so, please. Won't take long, I promise. Okay, so those of you who live in the UK will know that the month of July was basically nothing but rain. A few breaks of sun, but pretty much most days it's absolutely hammered down. So yes, while Europe has been sweltering in its hottest July ever, we've had rain. Then was the breaks. Last year it was stupidly hot here, but that proves quite a challenge for most photographers because July, lovely weather, let's go and wander around, take lots of photographs. This year, not quite so much. So my first image was basically just taken out of my office window, just that window just there actually. And it's rain that's fallen on the flat roof that's just outside my office window, and the way the light was hitting it and the rain was pooling and the raindrops were hitting it and the ripples coming out of it, I just really liked the effect. So I grabbed a few shots of it, and this one I found worked best. Quite a bit of work gone into editing this one actually, because there was some really bright hot spots on it, so there was a real contrast range on it, and I'm quite pleased with how the edits turned out. I think it's an interesting approach to getting a shot even when it's absolutely hammering down with rain as it has been. So that's my first pick. Moving on to the next 3 images. These are actually taken at a local coffee shop, Barista Cats, and I've posted images from there before. They had an event there. It was an all-dayer organised by a guy I know, Charlie Miles, and it was a combination of the electronic music open mic nights and what's called Liquid Lounge, which is an all-dayer event, and it combined. So it was basically a variety of people performing electronic music over the course of a day, and I shot not all of it, but a fairly hefty chunk of it. And the following 3 images came from that. 2 are of artists, but the first one I want to look at is actually from a couple of people. I do know them, but they will remain nameless in the audience, and I was just grabbing some shots, and I turned around and I noticed that they were holding hands, and I just loved the way it looked against the background and the composition, and I managed to grab a very quick shot of it because I didn't want to make it obvious that I was photographing this particular moment. It may have made people feel uncomfortable, but when I got to look at it on my PC, I was really quite pleased with how this came out. Edited it in black and white just because I thought it suited the look and feel of the image a lot more. So and a square crop on this really blew it in quite nice and tight on that, and I just liked the way it came across. So yeah, I definitely like that one. Moving on to my 3rd image, and this one follows a theme from last month actually, where this is technically not a perfect image by a long shot. There's very little that's actually sharp in here, but it helps convey the music. This was a DJ set that was going on during the Liquid Lounge Electronic Music Open Mic Night day. This was actually during the afternoon. This was one was taken, so you can see there's quite a bit more light around in this image. And I just love the feeling of movement in this, the look on the guy's face. Just really summed up the euphoria of playing and listening to good music. And I liked the emotion that it captured, that I'd managed to capture here. Again, black and white suited this image better than anything else, and really liked the way it came across. Pretty pleased with the edit as well. And then the final image from that day, fourth shot of this set. This is Charlie, who organised, or one of the people that organised the event during his set. So this was the last set of the day, so we're well into the night time now. It's probably around about 9:30 at night, so a lot of low light shots. And I took a few of this, and he was singing at this point and moving his left arm to basically kind of emphasise what he was saying. And traditional logic would be focus on his face here, but what I didn't want, because I knew his left arm would be very prominent in the frame, I didn't want this big out of focus or less focused mass right at the front of the frame. I thought it'd be really distracting, so I grabbed a couple of shots where I was focusing on his arm rather than his face, but I was having to use a very low depth of field. The lens was wide open at this point because it was so dark, and I really like the way that the focus has come into the arm with the face and mic out of focus, but not enough that you can't discern what's going on there and who it is. And it worked really, really well in that regard. Now, one of the things that's interesting to me, and maybe for a photographer, about these last three shots, but this one in particular, is I actually took all of these on my Lumix GX-7. So that's a micro four thirds camera and micro four thirds sensors, particularly older ones. And the GX-7 is a relatively old camera now in terms of what's on the market at this immediate point. You're not supposed to be able to get decent images out of these at night or in low light conditions, even with fast lenses. Yet I think these three images, and this one in particular, kind of put pay to that myth. And no, I haven't used in any of these three any noise removal software that's, AI driven, like the DxO stuff, or what I tend to use for colour work more than anything else is Photo AI. By completely forgotten who that's by. It'll come to me in a moment. It might do, it might not. If not, I'll edit it in and post it. Anyway, no noise reduction bar removing the colour noise in Lightroom, and that's it. And I think these three shots, and this last one in particular, hold up extremely well in that regard. Yes, there's a bit of noise in there, but I don't think that is detrimental to the image at all. Okay, so my final shot of the month that I've picked, and this is actually a film shot. So this is a poppy just as it's going over. This was in my garden, this absolutely massive poppy in the garden. It was just starting to go over, and this was when I was doing some test work. And again, there's a link to the video this is in on a Praktica BX20 that I was using, and some Fomapan 100 I think this was shot on. And I grabbed this shot, and I grabbed quite a few of the poppy, but this one looking down on it, this was 50mm 1.8 I was using here, again wide open, to just try and get the poppy with the rest of the background out of focus behind it, just to give it some subject separation. And I wasn't quite sure how this was going to turn out in black and white, but I think it's turned out excellently, and I'm really, really pleased with this. I think it's a good, sharp image. It's got some really nice graduations of tone in there. You've got everything from the whites through to the blacks, with some really nice grey graduations in there, giving quite a good differentiation in what's going on within the flower head itself and the petals, and the background, and it's probably my pick in terms of photographs that I've taken in July. It would have to be my number one. So really pleased with how that one's come out, and considering it was only the second roll of film I've shot since I've got back into film photography, so you know, we're talking a 25-ish year break in film photography. Second roll I shot and I managed to get this out. Really pleased with that. So those are my 5 picks, all in black and white from July. If you have watched the video of all my work I posted in July and you think there's something that should have been in here as an alternative to these, or just some shots in there that you'd like to call out, please do let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed what I've put up, please do like the video, and if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos go up. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.